still playing music. Hold on. Delay.
Okay, you can hear the room?
Yes, I can hear the room.
righty. I call this meeting to order. Welcome to our council meeting for September 9, 2025. In the interest of time, efficiency, and ensuring that everyone who wishes to address the council is given an opportunity to do so, the following will apply to all comments made by the public. Each speaker will be permitted 3 minutes to address the council. Thank you for participating in your city governments, and tonight's invocation will be given by Police Chaplain Jane Pegging. Please rise and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you. Father God, King of the universe, God Almighty, we thank you for this day that you have given us to worship you. We thank you for gathering us here today in service to the people of Clermont. We ask you bless the council with wisdom, fairness, and humility as they make decisions for the good of all. This week, as we remember the events of September 11th, let us reflect and honor the lives that were lost, the courage of the first responders, and the countless families forever changed. Out of that dark day, however, our nation was reminded of something greater, the strength that comes when we stand together. Strangers became neighbors, neighbors became family, and America found unity in the face of sorrow. Lord, may the same spirit of unity continue to guide us today. Remind us that the commitment we showed to one another then is needed every day in how we serve, in how we listen, and in how we care for one another. May this council and this community always choose compassion over division, service over self, and unity over discord. Bless our city, leaders, and our nation. May we always remember, and may we always remain united. In your holy, holy, holy name we pray, and everyone says amen.
Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you. Please be seated. Can I have Procurement Service Director Freddie Suarez and his staff come forward, please? All right. This is the City of Clermont Procurement Service Department who we have before us today and who we have once again been recognized for their outstanding performance, receiving the Achievement of Excellence in Procurement, the AEP award from the National Procurement Institute. This prestigious award honors organizations that demonstrate excellence in public and nonprofit procurement, highlighting innovation, professionalism, e-procurement, productivity, and leadership. In 2025, a total of 216 agencies earned this recognition, including 85 cities, 48 counties, 23 special districts, 26 school districts, 15 higher education institutions, 7 state or parochial agencies, and 12 other organizations. This year marks the 3rd consecutive and 8th overall time the City of Clermont has received this AEP award, underscoring the department's continued commitment to excellence and the leadership in procurement practices. The Procurement Services Department takes great pride in being recognized as one of the best by the National Procurement Institute. So let's give them a hand, please. Thank you. Again, congratulations to the Procurement Department, and congratulations. It seems like every year seem to have that award going, Freddie, so thank you for outstanding work. Next item is public comment. Anyone who wishes to address the council, please come to the microphone and state your name and address. This portion of the meeting is only for items that are not on the agenda. In the interest of time, efficiency, and ensuring everyone who wishes to address the council is given an opportunity to do so, each speaker will be permitted 3 minutes to address the council. To avoid disruption of the meeting, speakers should avoid inappropriate language, personal attacks, and derogatory statements, and direct comments to the city council. Everyone is requested to be respectfully of each other, even when we disagree. It is now open for public comment. Anyone in the public wish to address anything that's not on the agenda?
Charlene Harrison, 4th DeSoto Street, Clermont. And yeah, I plan to say derogatory remarks and not nice stuff. This last meeting that we were in here, and I took you guys on at the end of the meeting about the time. I'm gonna take a breath. How dare y'all to claim that this is the public? Y'all fought in here and caused this to be a 5-hour meeting on a 2.5-hour agenda. And I voted for every one of you at one time or the other. Sorry Mr. Peterson isn't here, because we're gonna address that too, about this surplus that we have. Again, y'all been down here 1/1,000,000th of a whatever to the 25 years that I've been here advocating for the public, because if you aren't watching, and they used to call me Consent Agenda Charlie or something, the crap being put through, $1 million stuff, things that the public, whatever, but the public's at work, the majority of them. 75% of this town works, and they're not the flex people or the retired people. And Mr. Peterson may have started out good, but shame on him now. So I'm going to address that, because y'all caused the problem. And I don't care that you don't like it and you've been fighting, because Tim Murray was the only one that was on the side of the people at that last meeting. I will call people out for what they've done, and I'll tell people when they've done something good. We've never in the history of this town that I've been here now 31 years had any crybabies on this council that need a nap before you come in here. If this is not your thing, get up, resign, or probably ought, if we can fire you, remove you, or vote you out. And yeah, every time I say something is strange, when I say we're going to take you out, that's not to harm you. You know me. I'm a mother. I'm a wife. I'm somebody's daughter, somebody's sister. But this is wrong. And I'm going to say it. We got a crazy man in the White House. I don't want to hear this assault. He's a rapist. He let out a pedophile. He's a convicted criminal. People that are citizens are being arrested in this country. And then you've got to come home and deal with this in your own town in Clermont and have your rights taken away, or your right to come here and address your council. Now I'm going to talk about, real quick, that surplus. And shame on Mr. Peterson, who got caught in the middle of this, and the public was screaming. That's our property, by the way, if y'all didn't know. Doesn't belong to the city manager, the staff, or just y'all. That's ours. We own everything in this city, all of us. And you don't have the right to do something and try to claim you're just going to put it aside. No, you did surplus because there's somebody that wants those properties. And that came out. I watched a deal go down right in front of all of us here. Despicable. And Chandra, I know you. I know your heart. I know you're a good person. She didn't have a mean bone in her body. Decent. Stand up and do something, Chandra. This might not be good on at 3 o'clock, and you may be on your knees at 6 a.m. I know she is probably praying. I can't do that. But you made a promise to the constituents and the people that believed in you. When they thought you didn't have a chance, do something.
Thank you.
Joe Famasi, 2693 Jumping Jack Way. I'm here to ask again about the fire pad and the start of possibly getting fire equipment down into the Wellness Way area. I'd also like to ask that the city annex the rest of the Wellness Way area. I've totally given up faith in the county of being able to correct the problems down there. I know that you brought on a new firm to correct the building codes. I would like to see that come down the wellness way and correct a lot of the county's mistakes down there. I think that Eustis, they opened up an idea of bringing canning and data centers as high-paying jobs to commercial areas. They actually contracted a firm. And I think that that would be a good fit for down there in Wellness Way. They pointed out that canning is actually recession-proof, and it's a good wage manufacturing job that could get many people employed. I think it's time that this county step aside and let you lead the way in this, because now it's time to fulfill the promises. Live, work, and play in Clermont. We need the work part. It's been a long time coming. So if you can all make that happen, let's do this. One last thing, construction coming down in the Wellness Way area, dump trucks. There's been a big issue with that. I reported an incident on Monday about 20 dump trucks coming down Schofield Road, going into the Olympus project, and they were U-turning on Wellness Way and Highway 27. I was almost rear-ended because a dump truck in front of me that was making the left-hand turn off of 27 had to stop for a dump truck that made an illegal U-turn there. There's chaos down there. Is there any way to get other access roads for them? Maybe off at 27. I know they just finished the turning lane that's going up Wellness that would be better for them. Technically, the dump trucks are not even supposed to be on Schofield Road. Commercial trucks are supposed to be banned because of those curbs. We've had many dumps out there. The county's not doing any kind of mitigation to try to keep people safe on Schofield. I've asked them to put up barriers. There has been at least 4 deaths out there that I know of this year. We had a 5th incident out there not too long ago. I don't know. It was serious enough that they had to shut down the whole corridor. So commercial is starting to come out to our area, and we need some really strong codes and planning to get this done. And obviously the county is not doing it. Also, a discussion about reclaimed water. Where are we at with those discussions? Wellness Way people are now sending emails to the Orange County mayor requesting them that they share their water with us. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Farmer Banks Helfrich, Clay Road District, South Lake County. Farm tip of the day. In Florida, there are 2 growing seasons. The first is, well, depending on what time of year, is the cool weather months, spring and summer. The warm weather months, summer and spring. And the second, which we're going into right now, is fall and winter. So in Florida, you can grow crops year-round. Mayor, council, distinguished guests, what gets you up in the morning? Many of us, when we were kids, it was adventure, it was play, it was go outside and run around. For me, it was Saturday morning cartoons. As we grew older, it was education, going to school, learning about the world. Later on in life, it is a job, a profession, supporting a family. Many of us, even on the dais, are at a point in our lives that we wake up for service, to give to others. And there are 7 ups to service. The first one, the most difficult one, is to wake up, metaphorically and realistically. The second one is to dress up. Third is actually the second most difficult one to do, is to show up, and that is to show up for others. Then there is listen up, speak up, and follow up. And lastly, there is never, ever to give up. So in this life of service, we don't do it for ourselves because we care. We do it because others matter. So, wake up, dress up, show up, listen up, speak up. Follow up, thank you very much. And never, ever give up. I am Farmer Banks Helfrich. May you all be blessed. Thank you for allowing me to speak.
Thank you. This is a public comment. Anyone in the public wishes to address anything that's not on the agenda, please come to the microphone, state your name and address, and have 3 minutes. This is public comment. Anyone else? Seeing no one else, I'm gonna close public comment. And Mr. Van Wagner, before we move on, is there any changes to the agenda?
Before we move to
No
that,
changes.
I had asked the mayor if I could speak before we got to the consent agenda. He said no because of the order of our service. And so I would like to ask my fellow council members, may I say something? Because I think this is important because it will set the tone, I believe, for our meeting.
I move to give
I'm comfortable
Councilmember
with it.
Myers 3 minutes to speak.
Second.
Well, let me say this, this is one of the reasons I asked for our reports to be put at the beginning of the meeting instead of at the end of the meeting. And you all chose to put it at the end. And now you see, and that's what you want to make everything convenient for when you want to do things.
Mr. Mayor, this is not personal.
No,
Ms.
it's
Myers
not
has requested an
personal.
exception.
She asked me.
She's typically very quiet, and if she has something to say, I know I would like to hear it. You have a motion and a second. As a point of order, I'd like you to take the motion, please.
Well, point of order, okay. I have a motion and a second, go ahead.
Aye.
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 Nay.
Okay.
Is Councilman Peterson here?
Can he hear?
or-
Yes.
Oh,
Can you
okay.
hear?
I just
If he can hear,
I'm
he-
here
I didn't hear about. All right.
in spirit, but not in body.
Did you hear what he just said? Did you hear what just?
Yes,
Are you in agreement?
I'm in agreement with what you just said, yes.
Okay.
okay.
Okay, thank you. First of all, I wanted to apologize for raising my voice at our last council meeting. I received an email from a new citizen of Clermont, and she presented suggestions on how to make our meetings run better, and I wholeheartedly agreed with her points. One point is on respect. We ask our citizens to show respect when they come to the podium, but we, as fellow colleagues, do not always show respect toward one another. And what do I mean by respect? That means that we don't talk aggressively toward one another, we don't overtalk each other, we don't take insults and jabs at one another. I don't know how the rest of you were raised, but I was raised to bring honor to my family name, to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and to my race. And it's very dishonoring when we bicker and we're rude to one another. I've been told that some citizens watch these meetings because they think it's a reality show and not for the information. This is not a reality show. I believe that we need to show honor to our citizens and to one another. And one thing I want to talk about too about honor is we cannot have citizens who are in the hall yelling up to us. If you want to have something pulled off the consent agenda, you need to come to the podium, state your name, your address, and what the item is, and stay by the podium so when it's time for you to ask the questions, you're nearby. So that leads me to my last point, which is I would like for us to have a parliamentarian put in place since we don't seem to govern ourselves very well. We cannot continue to have meetings that go on for 5, 6, 7 hours. We have got to have someone else to help us with this. And that is what I wanted to say, and I thank my colleagues for allowing me the time to say that.
Well, thank you. Mr. Van Wagner, you said no changes to the agenda?
No changes, Mr. Mayor.
All right, the next portion of the meeting is the consent agenda, which contains items that can be determined, that have been determined to be routine and non-controversial. Anyone in the audience which wish to pull anything from the consent agenda have the opportunity to do so. Additionally, staff members and city and council member has the same opportunity. If there's anything on the consent agenda you wish to have pulled, now's the opportunity and time for you to do so. And items on the consent agenda today is items 1 through 16. Any of these items 1 through 16 wish to be pulled by anyone? Seeing none, I entertain a motion for the consent agenda for approval as presented for items 1 through 16.
If I may,
Well-
if you'll let me, I move to approve items 1 through 16 with an amendment to item 2 to allow staff
Excuse
to
me.
leverage all
Ma'am, if you want to amend item number 2, then let's pull it and talk about it, okay?
I don't believe that the process requires me to pull
Ma'am,
it.
let's
I
pull
have
it
a
and talk
motion.
about it.
Can I get legal counsel, please?
Well, I mean, I think both of you are right insofar as if the mayor wants to pull it based on the proposed amendment, it can be pulled. You alternatively can move to approve it subject to a change.
Yeah, so we don't have to pull it if we don't want to.
Well,
So
ma'am,
if you're saying because I want
if
to
you
make
want to
it.
amend the item, I would like
Mr. Mayor,
to
Ms.
have it
Myers
pulled.
started this meeting by asking us to govern ourselves appropriately, and I'm going to ask and support her and ask you to please let me finish speaking. That's twice you've cut me off in the first 30 seconds of this conversation. I was making a motion to approve items 1 through 16 with an amendment to item 2 to permit staff to use any company that met the RFQ criteria for facility maintenance services. That is my motion.
Second.
As I say, I think item number 2 need to be pulled if you want to amend that, because if I'm not mistaken, this was, Freddie, did this go out for bid?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, we're out for bid.
It went out for bid. Okay, so now we're gonna change the whole bid process on a motion like this and everything. I think, if we wanna include other companies, I think we need to turn around and reopen all that instead of just approving it and saying, hey, we're just gonna accept any and everybody, okay? We tend to have that that seem to be a lot of going on right now when we don't get who we want on a bid contract, or we just go back and say, hey, we're just gonna accept everybody. And I think this need to be reopened, if you want to accept this, reopen the bid process and let them reapply, and of course put specification, how many companies, how many you want, or if you don't want you want any and everybody to be approved, then just say that and eliminate the bid process altogether. But right now, I don't think it's fair for everybody else to have been through this bid process, went out the bid process, and then you just ignore the work they put in and say, hey, we just go ahead and ignore you and just accept everybody. Okay?
Call the question.
You know, but, and of course, that's one of the things we seem to be doing around here. I have a motion and a second on the floor. Is there any further discussion?
Well, Mayor, I would just point out if the motion would be out of order for item number 2 if you do want to pull it. So it can be removed from consent.
But she can amend it to it, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
she could amend her motion to be 1 and 3 through 16.
No, I mean, with how she wanted an amendment to be on number 2, can she do that?
Yes.
Yes, she can do that.
Yes,
Okay,
she
so we
can.
don't have to have it pulled, so.
It does have to be pulled
Oh.
if someone wants to discuss it. It's on consent, so.
It's on consent.
Was my motion procedurally improper?
No, the motion was proper, but the mayor doesn't want number 2 on consent.
Okay.
So it can't be.
So he can pull it.
Yes, he
Okay.
can pull it.
So then I move to approve item number 1 and 3 through 16 on consent.
I second.
So I have a motion for approval of items 1 and 3 through 16 as presented. Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, all in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The chair vote aye as well. Motion passes.
Did you say aye?
I couldn't hear him.
Did you say aye?
I said aye.
He said aye. He
Motion
said
passes 5-0.
Okay, 5-0.
Okay. Item number 2, as I stated, and I don't think I need to go through that again, but I have no problem if you want to include everybody, but I think the whole process need to be reopened, okay? And we need to stipulate that in our RFQ process, how many positions, how many we're gonna have, and everything, okay? So, if that's what you want, you can make a motion. I think at this time, Mr. Ward, that we revisit this.
I'm not interested in revisiting this. If we want to open it up, then that's up to staff who they use. It doesn't matter to me. It just allows us to have a wider range of people to use. I don't think there's any reason to rebid it or have any other further discussion about it. If they want additional people, then they can use additional people. If they want to use Get Green Lawn Services, then they use Get Green. I don't care. So I'll make a motion to approve item number 2, allowing any competent bidder, allowing the use of any competent bidder.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to amend item number 2 to allow procurement to use any company they see fit. Okay, basically. So I guess in the future, we don't need to do an RFQ in these situations, eh? Any further discussion?
Nope.
No.
All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
Oh, good, we hear you.
That's aye.
He said aye, yes.
Okay, chair vote nay. 4-1. All right. Item number 17 for final consideration of ordinance number 2025-021.
An ordinance under the Code of Ordinances of the City of Clermont, Lake County, Florida, providing for the annexation of a certain parcel of land contiguous to the present city boundaries, providing for conflict, severability, administrative correction of scrivener's error, recording, publication, and an effective date.
Good afternoon, Mayor,
Yeah.
City Council members, and guests. Nick Gonzalez, Development Services. This is agenda item 17. The applicant, Proactive Custom Auto Land Trust, is requesting annexation of the subject property. The property is located at 13550 Granville Ave, east of Granville Avenue and south of State Road 50, and is approximately 2.35 acres. The property meets the requirements for consideration of annexation under Florida Statute 171.044 by adjacent to the current city limits. The property is currently used as auto repair shop and has plans for expansion. Since the property does meet the requirements under Florida statute for annexation, the property can be served by the City of Clermont for services, and the property of land is contiguous with the current city limits on the north and east property boundary. Staff does recommend approval of the annexation request, and staff will also be bringing the small-scale comprehensive plan amendment and the rezoning to the council in a future date. And that concludes staff presentation.
Okay. This was staff, so wasn't about applicant, eh? Or the staff was the applicant. This is a public hearing. Anyone in the public wish to address this item may come to the microphone and state your name and address and have 3 minutes. This is a public hearing. Anyone in the public wish to address this item may come to the microphone and state your name and address and have 3 minutes. Seeing no one.
Motion to approve item number 16, resolution number 2025, or excuse me, item number 17, ordinance number 2025-021, final
Second.
auto annexation.
Oh, I'm sorry, I second before you finished.
Okay. We have a motion and a second for approval of item number 17, which is final consideration for ordinance number 2025-021. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none?
No.
Hearing none. Councilmember Strange.
Aye.
Councilmember Howard.
Aye.
Councilmember Myers.
Aye.
Councilmember Peterson.
Aye.
And the chair vote aye as well. Motion passes 5-0.
You wanted me to pass that, right?
What was that?
I think he was talking to his wife.
Oh. Item number 18 is for final consideration of ordinance number 2025-006.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Clermont, Lake County, Florida, amending the Land Development Code, Chapter 101, General and Administrative Provisions, Article 3, Orders and Permits, Division 3, Conditional Use Permits, Section 101-216, Time Limit for Commencing Construction, providing for conflict, severability, codification, the administrative correction of scrivener's error, publication, and an effective date.
Good afternoon, Mayor and council members and guests. Kurt Henschel, Planning Development Services Director. Again, this is for time limits for construction. Earlier this year, this land development regulation amendment was heard and tabled so that additional language could be added. Under the current land development regulation, the time limit to start construction has been ambiguous and without a definitive measurable task. This is for conditional use permits that you typically see in front of you. The addition of language that documents an inspection within the building permit process captures progress with a measurable date with a measurable date. Language is being added to state physical construction would, at a minimum, include a completed and approved building inspection. This is a realistic time period within the 2 years of an approved development in order to move a project forward. Staff does support this recommended change, and also Planning and Zoning did as well, 6-0.
Okay. And the staff is applicant. This is a public hearing. Anyone in the public who wishes to address this item may come to the microphone and state your name and address and have 3 minutes.
Where is that 006 on the agenda? Okay, but are they supposed to have another, is there another hearing before that?
There's already been.
Okay, never mind.
Anyone in the public wishing to address this item may come to the microphone and state your name and address and have 3 minutes.
Good afternoon, Marty Proctor, 18225 Rose Street in Groveland. I apologize for not reading this section of your land development code, but is there an exception or an allowance for nonprofits? It's very difficult for nonprofits, especially in these times that we're facing right now with grants being pulled, grants being delayed, to assure and guarantee that they will be able to complete their projects in a timely manner, given 2 years. I agree, it's a reasonable amount of time, unless you don't have any money. We have a lot of nonprofits in this area that are struggling. They do a lot of good work, and I know that several of you support those nonprofits, and just giving you the thought that you may wish to consider having an allowance for them to have a little bit more time to get their things together, because they do not have unlimited resources and unlimited funds like most developers do. So thank you very much for your patience.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Just saying.
You know,
Record, I need to say something. Charlene Harrison, 4th DeSoto Street, Clermont, and I don't have a problem with that at all, and it's something we should have done. I've got a question while I'm here. When did we allow people on this council to vote when they're not here sitting in their chair? When did we start that? What's the legality on it? Can you answer, Mr. Wall?
It's up to the mayor if he
Unless it's something
wants
really
to.
bad, you're not supposed to do that, but I just want to know, when did we start that?
any other questions, Ms. Forth?
Yeah. And I want it answered.
Well, I get you.
I'm here, okay.
Okay, I get you. Mr. Watt, you want to answer that, please?
Yes, sir. So it's always been permitted under Florida law. I don't know what Clermont's practices have been, but back about 20 years ago, the question of telephonic appearances came up, and Attorney General opinions and other opinions said, yes, it's okay so long as there's a quorum in person. This also became an issue in the COVID era, but the governor signed an executive order that actually allowed even a quorum to appear remotely for the duration of the COVID emergency. In any event, we're at a point where so long as the quorum is here in person, you are able to appear remotely, telephonically, or otherwise.
Can you give me that statute
Thank you, Ms.
Motion to approve item number 18, ordinance number 2025-006, final time limit for commencing construction.
Hold on, please. Thank you. I hadn't closed public comment yet. Anyone else in the public wish to address the item may come to the microphone and state your name and address and have 3 minutes. Anyone else? Seeing no one else, I close public comment and bring it back to council.
Motion to
State
approve
council.
item number 18, ordinance number 2025-006, final time limit for commencing construction.
A second.
Okay. I have a motion and a second to approve item number 18, ordinance number 2025-006. Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, Councilmember Strange,
Aye.
Councilmember Howard,
Aye.
Councilmember Myers,
Aye.
Councilmember Peterson,
Aye.
and the chair vote aye as well. Motion passes 5-0. All righty. Item number 19, ordinance number 2025-033, introduction police officers retirement pension plan.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Clermont, Lake County, Florida, amending the City of Clermont Police Officers Retirement Plan at Chapter 28, Article 3, amending Section 2859, Finances and Fund Management, amending Section 2860, Contributions, amending Section 2862, Pre-Retirement Death, amending Section 2871, Minimum Distribution of Benefits, amending Section 2884, Supplemental Benefit Component, for special benefits, Chapter 185 share accounts, providing for conflict, severability, codification, the administrative correction of scrivener's error, publication, and an effective date.
Okay. This is a public hearing. Anyone in the public wish to address this item may come to the microphone and state your name and address and have 3 minutes. Anyone in the public wish to address this item? Seeing no one, I close public comment. Bring it back to council. What say council?
Motion to approve item number 19, ordinance number 2025-033, intro to police officers retirement pension plan.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second to approve item number 19, ordinance number 2025-033, introduction of police officer retirement pension plan. Any further discussion?
No.
No.
Hearing none, all in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
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 Okay. All opposed? And chair vote aye as well. Motion carries 5-0. Item number 20, ordinance number 2025-032, introduction, LDC amendment.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Clermont, Lake County, Florida, amending Section 11712, Parent B, Parent 6, height and setbacks, Section 125-522, Parent A, general development conditions, providing for conflict, severability, codification, the administrative correction of scrivener's error, publication, and an effective date.
Okay, this is a public hearing. Anyone in the public wish to address the item may come to the microphone and state your name and address and have 3 minutes.
Charlene Harrison, 4th DeSoto Street, Clermont. I have had so many calls that came saying, what are you going to do? I mean, what are people going to do? And I've heard that y'all are like, you're American, so you got to put the flag up there. But you need to have a limit. That's ridiculous. Do you understand if you do what I've heard y'all want to do and what has been proposed, you can have it 300 feet up. I guess until it touches an airplane, I heard in the FFA. Is that right? I mean, what's wrong with you guys? You know? I mean, do you not care about anything and what's right? That doesn't make you un-American because you say it can only be 100 feet up or 50 feet up. And now you have all this crap going on across the country. Everybody's going to put them up everywhere, flying everywhere. And then my husband said to tell y'all, how's that going to work at the hurricane?
Hello.
Yeah, because he saw somebody be decapitated in Orlando that I attended with him at 2 o'clock in the morning before I had my child on code and a building official for the city of Orlando. How's that going to work when it flies into a house? Why don't y'all use some common sense? I mean, maybe you don't have any more. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. But this is what I heard. And I said, my husband Saul, I don't look at your stuff. I don't, because it makes me sick. I mean, I just got to tell you, I don't even want to breathe the same air in here with you guys right now. I don't. It stinks and it has stench. But you need to do something and do the right thing. You don't need to have 300 feet up because you're an American. That's ridiculous. We're not taking anybody's rights away.
This is a public hearing. Anyone in the public wish to address this item may come to the microphone and state your name and address and have 3 minutes. Anyone wish to address this item? Seeing and hearing no one else, I close public comment. Bring it back to council. What say council?
So first of all, it's a 55-foot limit, so it's not going 300 feet. And for me, I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. I'm team red, white, and blue. At the end of the day, there's no reason we should tell patriotic American businesses that they're not welcome to show their patriotism here in Clermont. I'm going to fully support this. I think it's great. It doesn't hurt. That flag is beautiful as you come out of the bottom of that hill, and I see no reason for it. I just find it bizarre that somebody's going to go after this business for being patriotic, and I, for one, am not going to stand for it. I think this ordinance gets us where we need to be and allows businesses to fly flags within reasonable concessions.
If I can add to that, there are a couple amendments that I think should have been in here to be consistent with our current code. One is on B6, there's a limit of 30 feet. Our current code allows a limit of 55. So I think we should amend it to be consistent with our current code. Also, I would like to insert the word solely under section 2B6B4 so that we restrict or do not restrict the flying of the American flag, but so long as the pole only supports the American flag. And I believe subsection C is perhaps unnecessary, and I would like legal opinion on that.
Well, it's up to you to determine what's necessary or not, but there was a discussion in the Planning and Zoning Board meeting, for example, on subsection C, which is that it may not really apply for the commercial areas. So that's is designed to do something different than what it appears you want. We've been asked to do for you in this ordinance. And are you asking about the legal of the other two things you mentioned?
No, that's what
Okay,
I'd like to see
okay.
in the motion.
Mr. Peterson, if you can hear me, you have any comments on this?
I mean, I'm proud to be I like the flag. We commented on that the other night when we were driving home at night and we saw that flag flying in the distance. It kind of made you feel proud. I understand height requirements are important, but I think as long as we have an engineering report on it, that it's in compliance with their guidelines, I think I would be for it.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Myers.
I echo what he said about having, I'm sorry, I echo what he said about having an engineering report, and my concern is the flagpole supporting the flag to make sure that it doesn't fall and cause any accidents or incidents or whatnot, and to make sure that the flag is properly lit, which I believe it is, and when it gets warned for it to be removed. All of the laws that go with how you're supposed to honor the flag needs to be adhered to, and that's with any and everybody. That is part of the U.S. flag law in our nation.
Okay, thank you. Let me say this. I have no problem with flying the flag, and I think, but however, I don't think just flying the flag makes you patriotic. Okay, it's more to it being patriotic than wrapping yourself in a flag or throwing a flag on and flying it to make you patriotic. I know I've heard it said out there that I'm the one that caused this problem. I did not cause this problem. I didn't put the flag up there. I didn't know nothing about the flag, okay, until I was called by my city manager and told me what was going on, which and at that time the comment was to him was the fact that they came into city council, to the city and asked about permitting, which they were told they need to have a permit. They refused to do the permitting. They just ignored everything. Okay, if you're patriotic, this is a country built on laws and orders and everything. Then do the patriotic thing is to do the right thing, which is apply for a permit. I don't think anybody up here on this council would have denied them a variance to put that flag up there. My problem with it is the fact that you totally ignore our ordinance and our laws, and I don't think this ordinance need to be changed, because in there, the way I read it, and Mr. Wall, you can correct me if I'm wrong, the way I read the ordinance, the way it was presented to me and what I've read, there's no limit on the height of it, okay? There's no limit. However, and I heard mention about 55 feet and 30 feet. 30 feet is the height of flags and poles right now. 55 feet is our building limit height, okay? But this ordinance, where it was written, is basically saying they can put it as tall as they want, as long as it don't exceed FFA height, which is, I think, is 200 feet, if I'm not mistaken.
It varies. In some places it's 200, in some places it's thousands of feet.
Right.
It depends on the proximity to an airport.
But if I'm not mistaken, that's what I said, because it had no limits. I don't think we need to change our ordinance just to try to satisfy this flag. As a matter of fact, if you go down on Highway 50, we got one already that's exceed our city ordinance. It was granted in at Toyota. Okay, so the thing, like I say, the problem I have with the whole thing is the fact that you just totally ignored our ordinance and just do what you just willy-nilly, and you call yourself a patriot. Even patriots follow order. I'm gonna be honest with you, I consider myself a very much patriot. I gave almost 23 years of my life defending this flag. See, and so I consider that. And one of the things I realized by being a patriot out there defending it, we had to govern ourselves by law and orders and rules and everything to stay alive. Okay, so for you to call yourself, just fly a flag and call yourself a patriot, that doesn't fly with me. Okay, and so I don't think we need to be changing this ordinance at all. We can leave it as is. And if a person would want to go outside our ordinance, they can come in here and fly. Another problem I have with it, does that mean that my resident now I can put up a 200-foot flagpole? Because it doesn't specify in this ordinance whether it's residence or commercial. Okay, so it's a lot of things on here. So now I can go at my home and put up a 200-foot flagpole. There's nothing nobody can do. And then you really have to worry about the hurricanes and everything. Okay, so while we're changing this, a rush to change, well, again, we're rushing to change the ordinance without really thinking it through. So I cannot support the change in ordinance. Okay.
Tracy, will you start my 3 minutes?
Before you start, can I get a little bit
Sure,
from
go ahead.
Christian?
Yeah.
Mr. Law, on her points, can you break that down specifically so that I'm not confused? Because there was a mention of 55 foot on a height above grade, so.
The reason, I think, is that, so in the original draft of this ordinance, it mentions 30 feet, but actually elsewhere in your code, in section 117-7, subsection 14, you already address flags, and then in subsection 14, it says flagpole height, the maximum height of any flagpole shall be 55 feet and shall not exceed 10 feet above the height of any primary structure. So that's, in order to be consistent between the drafts, I think it would have to say 55.
Correct.
So I think that's that. On the other one, I mean, it's the way it's currently drafted, the way that I see it, is it might allow other flags on the pole, so long as the American flag is at the top, consistent with the flag code. But the proposed amendment from Councilmember Strange would require that only, if this is an exempt pole, then only the American flag would be able to be flown. Did I misunderstand?
Okay.
So,
And under that exemption, from an ability to do that, are we okay? Do we need to say municipal, or, I mean, can we specify from a legal standpoint that it's the American flag?
I'm trying to figure out what you mean, Councilmember, insofar as it already says American flag,
Right.
flag code, et cetera, et cetera.
So that's the only one. I'm good with it then. I mean, if that's, I just want to make sure our language is, and I'm good with the 55 feet. I don't like the 10 foot above grade, or 10 foot above another, because if you've got a 20-foot building, then you're stuck at 30 feet. So that's an issue for me. But I'm comfortable with where we're at with it. If you want to go ahead and do your 3 minutes and sell me on your.
No, hold on, Bill, just a second.
No, Bill can go. It's fine.
Yeah, go ahead, Bill.
Yeah, I mean, according to like the FAA standards, 200 feet is the maximum height of any pole.
Right.
Anything over 200 feet then would require FAA approval. So we can say there's no maximum height, but in reality, 200 feet is the maximum height that they could go until they get FAA approval.
No, I don't agree that FAA. I'm not trying to make this difficult, but it depends on proximity to an air course. So you can go higher than 200 feet, but you would have to notify the FAA. It's not necessarily that you have to have approval.
Right. According to what I see here, is they have to be they may be restricted, marked, or lit up for aviation safety. They might have to have a flashing beacon on top or whatever if it's over the 200 feet.
That's right. There'd have to be a flashing beacon normally.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think I read in the code, it took out the 30 feet and had no limit in there, basically, in the code.
Mayor, I read it,
what was sent to me.
I read it the way you do, insofar as what this says is that you're exempt from the height restriction of the 55 feet if it's a pole solely displaying the American flag. Now, it's up to the council, of course, determine if that's what you want or not. I will, just because I want to fully brief you, discuss the constitutionality, if I might.
Please.
there is case law from the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals, which governs us, and the U.S. Supreme Court, that suggests American flag ordinances that are not content neutral will be unconstitutional. What does that mean? It means that you as a municipality, unless you have a compelling reason, may not distinguish between types of content when you adopt a sign regulation or a flag regulation. And so there was an 11th Circuit Court of Appeals opinion, I discussed it, planning and zoning, for example, Dimmitt v. the City of Clearwater, where actually it was a very similar situation insofar as they tried to say, well, you can have an American flag, a state flag, and certain type of government flags, but not a union flag or another type of flag. And the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals found that that kind of aesthetic distinction would not be constitutional because it's not a compelling interest. Now, there's other case law that says it may not be compelling, but it could be substantial. And that's why the additional language in there is about for emergencies. I put that in there as your escape hatch in the event that there is a finding that the content, it's not content neutral such that it violates the Constitution, because if there is an emergency declared at the national stage, it translates it from something that might just be speech into something more symbolic, which might survive compelling. So I just want you to know why that's there and the constitutionality issues.
Okay. As I say, as it's written and everything, I really don't think, for me, I don't think we need to change our ordinance. I think anyone that wants to display the flag and everything, like always, they can come in and do it. And the other thing, as I asked Mr. Wall, the way I read this ordinance, this also give people, residents, the same right to be able to put up a flagpole at any height.
And I want to address that too, Mayor, if I might. I think you're right. I would also, but I would say that to me, what it really means is that the city is not regulating it. And so in the absence of a city regulation, it's kind of like nuisance, you know? So for example, if someone puts, if you didn't regulate animals in the city, and someone had a pigsty on the fence, and it was so bad that it disturbed the neighbors, they could have a cause of action for nuisance. I'm not trying to get too far in the weeds. Dead trees. You know, you may not regulate trees, but if you got a dead tree and it falls over, then you're liable for the damage that it caused. So similarly, if someone puts a 300-foot flagpole, it's not properly secure, or it disturbs the air rights in a way, they may have a cause of action for nuisance. I'm just saying that's how it would work. There may be common law causes of action.
Okay. All right, so that's another one of my concern. Do we need in that stipulation, is this just for commercial properties or a residential property if we were to change it up? You know,
I'd like to hear from Ms. Allison.
So I spoke to our legislative delegation about this issue, and they are planning on putting forth a bill to allow a bill consistent with ours. So we're going to have support at the state level for this in the next legislative session. I do want to add, as far as amendments, that I'd like to see some sort of regulation over the lights, because the American flag does need to be lit at night, and I think that needs to be regulated. I think that's where we get into nuisance territory.
That is in the flag code.
Okay, so, well, but that's what I mean. If you're in a residential area, I don't think lighting up a 200-foot pole, that's going to get into a nuisance. So I would like to see in the final some sort of language about lights. And on the issue of a good patriot not ignoring the laws, when we talk about the First Amendment of the United States of America, it is there for a reason, as is every one of the Bill of Rights. And when we as a government start restricting a person's right to speech, then we start to tread on very dangerous territory. So I wanted to read to you the extract from Thomas Jefferson's letter to John B. Colvin, dated September 20th, 1810. The question you propose, whether circumstances do not sometimes occur which make it a duty in officers of high trust to assume authorities beyond the law, is easy of solution in principle, but sometimes embarrassing in practice. A strict observance of written laws is doubtless one of the highest duties of a good citizen, but it is not the highest. The laws of necessity, of self-preservation, of saving our country when in danger are of higher obligation. To lose our country by a scrupulous adherence to written law would be to lose the law itself, with life, liberty, property, and all those who are enjoying them with us, thus absurdly sacrificing the ends to the means. George Washington's army was annoyed from Chew's house, yet he did not hesitate to plant his cannon against it, although the property of a citizen when he besieged Yorktown was leveled to the suburbs, feeling that the law of property must be postponed to the safety of the nation. While that army was before York, the governor of Virginia took horses, carriages, provisions, and even men by force to enable that army to stay together till it could master the public enemy, and he was justified. A ship at sea in distress for provision meets another having abundance, yet refusing a supply. The law of self-preservation authorizes the distressed to take that supply by force. In all these cases, the unwritten laws of necessity, of self-preservation, and of the public safety control the written laws of men and women. And I think that we can look at Thomas Jefferson's definition of what it means to be a patriot, to protect our nation and what it stands for, and you can find numerous articles about what the flag stands for. So for me, I'm not going to restrict the waving of the American flag under any circumstance. If your neighbor's waving it and you're not happy, have a coffee with your neighbor. Have a conversation. But we get into the business of restricting the right for freedom of speech and of patriotism, we play a dangerous game. So I'm going to make a motion to approve item number 20 with the amendments that section B6 be amended to say 55 feet instead of 30, that section 2B6B4 insert the language solely, striking paragraph C, and including a provision that we comply or create, if necessary, ordinances that would restrict the use of lights at night, understanding that may be a restriction on the waving of the American flag.
Can I ask what you mean by restriction of the use of lights at night?
I'm sure we have some sort of ordinance on it already.
I'm not aware of it.
We don't have any light ordinances?
No.
Just in general, light ordinances?
Yes, we do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I
in the
think
final draft, I'd like to see language relative to light ordinances.
I think in this code that you're looking to approve, it also said we have to provide by the other rules of the American flag and everything, which requires flags to be flown at night to be lit up. Okay,
Right.
So now are we going to ignore that rule?
That's why I'm asking for restrictions on the lights, and that might mean that someone with a large flag has to take it down at night if they can't meet the light requirements.
Okay. Ask them to be taken down at night if they can't meet the light requirement. Still. Okay.
I'm sorry, Mayor, I do need to ask. I mean, so, Councilmember, is it your intention then that we would exclude the requirement to follow the flag code only as to lighting, that it be consistent with city code otherwise as regards lighting?
No, we should still follow the flag code, but if a person is seeking an exemption to our existing ordinance, because that's what this is, it's an exemption, in other words, we're not regulating it, then our regulation would not be absolute, but in the instance that they are installing a large American flag, whatever the rules of lighting are must also be complied with. If they cannot, then the simple solution is bring the flag down at night.
Okay.
I have a question. So with the lighting, like in a residential area, like I know in our neighborhood for lights, for example, Christmas lights, they can't be on all night. You know, that's obscene, you know what I mean, with your neighbor.
Right.
So is that what you're saying? Like, if you happen to have a neighbor that puts a flag up and they want to put a light on at night that is not so super bright where it's affecting to your house across the street, so it needs to be dim but still lit, is that what you're meaning?
Yeah, so I'm not trying to anticipate all the possible scenarios, simply to say that we have an ordinance regulating the height of a standard flagpole.
Right.
That ordinance has rules, it should have rules, or we have lighting rules that dictate how that would, I hate that I use dictation. I'm sorry, if somebody watched me, take that back. That just bugged me at my core. So I caught myself. But we already have lighting rules. So all I'm looking for is if someone wants to be an exception to our lighting rules, then if our light rules conflict with where they want to put their American flag, they're going to have to comply with our light rules at night. The commercial obviously allows for a light, so probably in commercial, I don't anticipate there would be a lot of issues, but this is why I want to send it back to council to work on the drafting, so that in the final draft, we can get a better handle on what does that look like exactly. But this ordinance didn't include any reference to lights at all, and I could see lights on a very large flag pole becoming a nuisance.
Yes.
So I want to anticipate that and be prepared to regulate that.
Okay.
Okay.
So we have a motion and a second.
I have a motion. I didn't hear a second.
I gave a second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Well, for approval of item number, what was that, number 20?
Number 20, yes.
Number 20, I can't remember your exceptions there.
With 4 amendments.
You know,
Just to remind you, Mr. Mayor, this is just the intro.
It's
it's
just the
just the
intro.
intro, yes.
Yeah, it's just the intro.
just intro, so
Yeah.
we don't have to do, let me say this before I call the order, but and I debated whether I was gonna say this or not, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and do it and everything, you know, we, all at once, I'm happy to see the.
I'm going to call a point of order and call the, because you've already had to say what you've had to say, and we've asked that people move on. Everybody's had a chance to speak, and it's time to take the vote.
Mr. Warren, I think I can still ask for further discussion, right?
You can, so the way it works is that if there is a motion to call the question, it would require a supermajority vote.
Okay.
Motion to call the question.
Second.
I support, yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, we have a motion and a second on the floor to accept item number, ordinance number 2025-032, introduction with the recommended improvements. Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, all in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
Chair vote nay. Motion passes 4-1.
There you go.
All righty. Next, we have reports. Mr. Van Wagner.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The final budget public hearing is going to be Thursday, September 18th at 5:30 in the council chambers. On 9/11, there's a memorial service or a memorial there's a memorial gathering, and it's going to be Thursday, September 11th at 10 a.m. at the Clermont Performing Arts Center. And the Clermont Main Street Wine Stroll is going to be Saturday, September 19th at 6:30 in the downtown. And Sips and Salsa will be Saturday, September 20th at 5 p.m. at the Waterfront Park. Thank you.
Mr. Wall.
Thank you, Mayor. I have no report other than the settlement with the Wright Ahern case has been pretty much finalized, not executed yet. And also, Ms. Forth, the city manager has directed me to send you the authorities that you requested. So that will. I will send you the authorities that you requested.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's it, Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Peterson. Did he hear me?
I don't know if you heard me. Bill?
Okay, I'm back on. Sorry about that. First of all, I just want to thank you for allowing me to come. I was going to not be able to attend because even though I got all the vaccines and the boosters and everything else, I came down with COVID. So I'm kind of suffering with a little bit of a headache, and so my report's going to be very brief. I just want to let you know that I'll be trying to celebrate 9/11 since I was up there in staging in 9/11. It's still in the back of my mind, the brave people that went into the city through all the dust and all the people that had to get asbestosis from that. It was a scary time, but it was a time that everybody was brave. And that's all I really have to report at this point in time. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, and wish you better, and we be praying for your improvement in health. Councilmember Strange.
The only report I have is to commend Councilmember Myers for reminding us to conduct ourselves with civility. And I think the idea of a parliamentarian is a great idea. I think we did a great job tonight. So I'm happy to do that. I'm not sure the process. Perhaps we can get some training on that between the next meeting. But I support you there, and thank you for speaking up.
Councilmember Howard.
No report.
Councilmember Myers.
No report. I just want to say, Bill, I hope you feel better. And thank you, Ms. Strange.
Thank you.
Deputy City Manager.
No report, sir.
Okay. Mr. Van Wagner. Well, he's not here, but there was a question about fire equipment for Wellness Way. Can you give an update on where we are with that?
You're talking about first another station, Mr. Mayor? Your Station 5?
Well, I think he just said it's fire equipment and everything. I'm assuming he means station, the trucks, apparatuses, and all that as well.
What I don't see Chief here, but what I can tell you is that we are talking with Lennar about a potential building that we could use down in the Wellness Way area as a temporary facility until we get a permanent facility. So those are discussions we're having right now. They were open to the discussion, but I don't have anything specific to give to the council yet, but they were open to that. So that is a option the chief was considering when Station 2's expansion taking place. One unit would go there, and the other unit could possibly go at the hotel that's next to the Ark. So that's an option we're looking at right now.
Related to that, Mr. Van Wagner, does the Integra agreement for water somehow help facilitate the permanent station at Wellness Way?
Well, it does help us, but that's the developer is Mike Carroll that's putting that in Olympus, and he's working with our staff to give us the things we need, from the pad to the utilities to the water. So he's working with our public service group. I have to say he's being very kind and understanding, especially after the tragedy that took place with the teenager. He was very concerned and wanted to do everything he could to help provide fire service. So thank you for bringing that up, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Are we still, is engineering even looking at the fire station down there? Engineering? Do we have engineering, design, anything going on?
We have not gone that far.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Thank you. I saw Stoney here. I wanted him to, and there was a question about reclaimed water in Wellness Way. But if we can have Stoney, maybe next council, maybe give an update on the situation with reclaimed water down there. But somewhat, what I know, what I was briefed in the past about it, basically we cannot have reclaimed. We do not have the equipment or the lines or anything else to do reclaim water in Wellness Way, is what I've always been told. But if Stoney can give us an update on that. I know we were talking with Orange County about ribs and everything, but I think it goes a little bit further than just trying to get Orange County to give us some of the water.
Would you like me to give you any update I have right now, and then I'll get Stoney here next?
Sure.
We are having conversations with St. John's Water Management, Lake County, ourselves, and then Taylor, Representative Yurkowski is also meeting with us. So we met with Adam Lovejoy and the group that is overseeing our area for St. John's Water Management, and asked for their assistance in providing water, whether it be whether it be Conserve 2 or another alternative. And so they are currently looking at all the options. They are concerned about what's going on, and they've given us their blessing that they're going to try to do something to make this work for us, to help us. So they realize this is a burden and something needs to be done. But I'll also tell you, Orange County is answering comments right now and questions about that, because we brought that up to them as well as others, that they should consider allowing us to use water from Conserve 2 since it's sandwiched between two of our subdivisions in Wellness Way, as you know, Mr. Mayor. So there's some active conversation in addition to Conserve 2 going on right now with St. John's Water Management. And Richard Levy is involved in it, and James Kinsler's involved with it, and Stoney as well. So staff is very active looking for solutions in this area.
Okay. Well, like I say, I know those conversations with Orange County and been going on for years. I know ever since I've been mayor, we've been trying to have those conversations and getting turned down. And I got one other question for you. I can't remember what it was, though. I didn't write it down. I'd asked you to look into something else for me and everything, but we'll get to that later. And then there was a question about dump trucks on Wellness Way and 27. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think we can do anything about that there. Now, if, my understanding, we have Florida Highway Patrol, county and city down there trying to patrol those streets, Schofield Road and Wellness Way, if my understanding. Okay. If not, let's I guess we need to get with the county and everything and then step up patrols down there, because I've been getting a lot of reports that there's a lot of speeding down on Schofield, but I know we had all three of them down there before, because it's a state road, a county road, and city. So, but I heard him specifically say Wellness Way and 27, U-turns being done on Wellness Way and 27. That is a very dangerous situation if that's happening, especially with the light we just put out there on 27. So they ignoring that light and going on through there or what, and all. So if we can check on that, please, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. You mentioned 9/11 ceremony again. Saturday, Thursday morning at 10 o'clock. Everybody invited out to Wellness and the CPAC for the 9/11 remembrance ceremony. So, and support our local responders, our fire and police department, in presenting that, and they've been doing it now for like 23 years. I think it's 24 years. So please come out and support our local responders and everything in the effort in doing that remembrance. Other than that, I think it's. By the way, Miss Forth. The answer to your question, and I think Mr. Warr answered your question earlier about allowing people to be on the internet. I think they started that right after the COVID, you know, or they started allowing that. That was brought to our attention, we started doing that.
Did you say we started that at COVID?
Right after COVID, they.
So now we're using that as an excuse.
Yeah, no, well, it came up during the COVID and everything, and it all started during that time, I think. And you're right, it used to not be allowed, but during the COVID and with the changing laws and everything, COVID changed a lot of things. So my understanding, that's when we started it, okay? That was the first time I ever know. Is there anything else need to come before the council? Is there anything else need to come before the council? Hearing none, meeting adjourned.